From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LALATE as I'm back with the new LALATE Afternoons. Your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 is heating up as the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Meantime, that $3.5 trillion recon has lots of checks in there, mostly application-based. In this recording, we'll go over why the Purple Hawks are going to pounce and get this big money across the board better than anyone else. Then, deal done. The recon is set for a vote in the Congress within just a few days. I'll go over the latest details across the board. Then we'll be comparing Senate versus House, House versus Senate, as the president is under push to give stimulus checks in addition to those checks in the $3.5 trillion. I'll explain all the incredible details across the board. We'll ensure how we get to the finish line and not be a donut person. And there's so much happening right now. I'm excited for you and all the incredible details as we heat up a big Afternoons LA with a lot of details direct from Santa Monica, starting right here, right now, as the excitement starts on a big new Afternoons LA. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day across the board. And I'm so excited for you to join me on this big day direct from Santa Monica. How are you? Boy, what a big day as the new LALATE is upon us in this fourth stimulus check recording of 2021. We have so much breaking news, but first, how's the weather where you are? I know you saw those opening comments. Hey, oh, that looks like really good weather. I know. It's raining, though, today. So that was not a live shot of the beach. It's raining here in Southern California. Hence the good lighting, because you remember when it's dark out, you get better lighting. Jump on the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather where you are today. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021, so much breaking news. We're going to go over those monthly stimulus checks and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. We're going to compare Senate versus House as there's new indication of other plans from the House that are all breaking today on Afternoons LA. Then we cut to the recon. $3.5 trillion of checks are confirmed. Can I say that again? Confirmed. Checks to the American people in that fourth stimulus recon. This is the single biggest payout you've ever seen in the history of this channel. And if you're a Purple Hawk and you've learned to pounce on the third stimulus, you're going to get it. We're going to go over the breaking details about what Congress is doing in the next few days for this as well. It's all happening. Then we'll go over the voting process as the president is set to put this to the map. I'll have all the details and more. And then we'll cut to the big money that viewers are continuing to get. And you'll be surprised how much they're getting. You'll meet viewers who are getting combos of sums of money, and then you'll meet the biggest payout ever in this history of this channel. Lorraine, who got over $100,000, and this is the new LALATE. And thank you for joining. Subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video to 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Let's cut into those monthly stimulus checks. House versus Senate versus House. To start, the $3.5 trillion recon package has confirmed checks in there that are application-based. So you're getting checks. There is $3.5 trillion of checks in that recon that are application-based. But in addition to that is the traditional stimulus check in there as well. Let's go over the details starting right now. The House, there is approaches on the House, Senate, and other approaches across the board. Let's compare and contrast starting right now. Well, when you look at the House, we have a lot of approaches across the board. First, you have the original House bill, which we've talked about a lot on this channel. $1,000 a month after the first month of $2,000. That's pandemic plus 1 year. That is a monthly stimulus check written in a bill format where they're to pay you a check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. Then we have the House Ways and Means Committee. They have recommended a fourth and fifth stimulus check. They don't indicate the number of checks. And they don't indicate the amount of the check, but they say that the fourth should be reoccurring. That is a letter from the House Ways and Means Committee to the President of the United States. Then on the Senate side, we have the senators Warren, Wyden, Sanders, writing and urging the president for a stimulus check as well. Theirs is monthly, but the amount is unknown. Finally, we also have House members AOC and Omar writing the president a letter saying we are demanding monthly stimulus checks. They do give a price tag. Again, that is monthly, and that is $2,000. So compare and contrast all these. Senators, monthly amount unknown. House, letter, $2,000 monthly. We have the House bill, which is pandemic plus 1 year from Jalapal and Company. That's $1,000 a month after the first month, pandemic plus 1 year. And then we have the House Ways and Means Committee saying fourth and fifth stimulus. And then the American petition. The petition now closing in on 3 million signatures is asking for a $2,000 monthly stimulus check. So compare that across the board. Vote House or Senate. House or Senate. Tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. And there you go. Well, pandemic plus 1 year. The new indication hitting Wall Street this morning and this afternoon was the surprising detail from CDC. I was actually at the pharmacy last Friday, and the pharmacist and I was talking about this, and we said, "Hey, the CDC announcement's coming any minute." I think the pharmacist should, do news broadcasts because she was right on air. She said there was going to be a CDC announcement. I agreed with her, and this was last Friday. It came that the booster shot is now approved for millions of Americans starting September. In mid-September, based upon 8 months since your second shot. So I got a very, very early shot for myself. I got mine in February. So you count 8 months out from that. That's why the House bill looks like it would give you more months of checks because it's pandemic plus 1 year stimulus checks. Those are the checks when we talk about for stimulus. In the second half of this video, we'll be going over the recon process. Now, what's important to understand is that the recon process has $3.5 trillion of checks in there. Most checks are generally application-based in all these stimulus packages. If you've been with me since day one, which I know you have, they've been mostly application-based. Whether you are an employee or a PPP, PEBT, which is that add-on for food, EIDL, most stimulus is application-based, meaning you have to pick up a phone and at least call. And so what's incredible great news is that if you are a Purple Hawk and you have learned to pounce in the past, well, you are going to do really well with fourth stimulus. That's coming up later in this video. People who are donut eaters, not going to do so well. I mean, you may look really cute on a YouTube video holding a purple donut. How did I find a purple donut? And how did I find someone so beautiful eating a purple donut? I don't know. Yeah, you're going to see her and say, well, I sort of like the donut. Okay. I sort of like her as well. That's coming up later in this video. But first, let's get some money. Get a pen and paper ready. We're going to get some big money. What I want you to do is listen to this incredible sums of money. When we were talking about rent and utilities, food or internet a few weeks ago, I said I can get you $5,000 of rent, 4 to 6 months of rent. Well, guess what? We're getting a lot of money across the board. How much money for rent are Purple Hawks getting? Are you ready? Pounce. Boy, $27,000 Elizabeth got for rent. Mark got $25,000 for rent. He's a Purple Hawk. These are Purple Hawks, Purple Power Calcino VIPs. These are members. Nancy, $24,000. Richard, $22,000. $20,000. If you've had a success story, send it to me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm still going through some of my messages, and I saw a few viewers getting $13,000 since just Tuesday. So I'll be giving those to you perhaps tonight on Evenings LA. Congratulations to Pamela, who tells me she got $12,000 for rent. Carla tells me she got utilities and other items. Tiffany got $13,000 for rent and SNAP and other items. Nancy got $24,000 for rent and some gas and some other items. Randy got $6,000 for rent and other items. Jennifer, $5,000 for rent. And Cecilia, $1,200 of HEAP. Wow. Incredible great news when we talk about utilities. Look at these massive sums of numbers. $7,000 for Nancy. $6,500 for Mark and Angela. $5,000 $18,000. Do you think they can go for the triple crown? Well, they're getting a heap, and now they're getting a heap of utilities. Let's look at the big money that people are getting for SNAP. It is money for food, ready to pounce. Bam. Oh my goodness. Louis got $18,000 for SNAP. John, $10,000 to $12,000. And Nancy, there she is with $5,000. Are you ready for the triple crown? Here we go. People who got 3 items from this channel. Bam. $32,000 for Nancy. Wow. 3 items she got. Nisi, $23,000 for 3 items. And Mark, $32,000 for 2 items. These are Purple Hawks in the true embodiment of the name. And there you go. But how did Mark get in that list? He got 2 items. Mark, what are you doing? That's a triple crown list. Well, Mark got in 2 items at $32,000. I said, Mark, go get some SNAP. Go get some SNAP. And it's a SNAP. That's how he got it in just a few days. He got $19,000 annualized. $19,000 annualized for Mark for his SNAP, bringing his grand total across the board. Are you ready for this? To an incredible $50,500. But guess what? That was before the breaking news delivered to you 2 nights ago on this channel. The breaking news is that SNAP has now been increased to 25%. Lifetime on average, starting in October. Wow. So Mark's $19,000 will be worth a lot more. And this is LA. Well, this is what we've been doing since day one. Since day one, viewers of this channel have been applying and killing it on application-based money. We started on day one with that EIDL. People had applied for that EIDL grant and loan had not got approved. But I stepped in and I got their applications approved, getting $25 million of EIDL loans, saving their businesses, their homes, and their employees' homes. Then in fall, second stimulus was coming, $600 stimulus check. You and I refocused because I said, hey, it's only $600. Get the other sums of money. And Tyrone and his family of 4 got $15,000 across the board, killing it, getting rent from now December to March. But now let's get a pen and paper ready because you and I are going to get big money right now. We're going to get some rent, utilities, food, internet, and SNAP. It's all application based, so no time for you to be a donut, although that does look delicious. And here's what you need to know is that these big sums of money are actually going big and bolder. How much bolder are they going? Are you ready? Lorraine has now killed it with $105,640 she has gotten for this channel for rent and more. And I'm going to show you how to be Lorraine right now. And we're going to reach out to different places. First, here's what you do as a Purple Hawk. Number 1, you're going to be shown different places to apply. So you need to pick up the phone and call. You can pick up the phone. You can pick up the phone. You're going to contact 6 different places, not 1, but 6. Get a pen and paper ready. I want you to write down the 6 places. Number 2, each place has different eligibility. So if one says no, reach out to the next. Number 3, they have their own pot of money. Number 4, there's every state in the country that is paying it. There's not a single place where they're not paying it. I always have people say, I reached out to my city, I can't find it. Did you reach out to the state? No, I didn't. Keep on pushing because I'm going to show you 6 places across the board. And finally, don't include an equation in there that was not part of the eligibility. They don't have money for people with blue shirts that sound like cows and sit in front of surfboards. Who said I sound like a cow? So here we go. You're going to reach out to the following 6 places. Your city hall, your city housing authority. Your county hall, your county housing authority. Your state hall, your state housing authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. And there you go. Go get that big rent and don't say words they don't know, like stimulus or beautiful people eating purple donuts. And there we go. And if you got on rent or utilities, post in the live chat right now. Let's turn to SNAP. What is SNAP? SNAP is money for food. If you're watching this channel and you've never gotten any money, SNAP is the easiest one to get. You reach out to Department of Agriculture, call them up, and eligibility is very simple. That's why they call it a SNAP. Mark got $19,000 from this. Louis, $18,000. John, $10,000 to $12,000. And also, Linda got it for herself and her son and mom. How much does it pay? A family of 4 out of Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 a year annualized. But now all of you are getting a lot more money. Yeah, you heard me right. I was the first channel to break the news to you that your SNAP benefits of that 15% increase is running out, is expiring under the executive orders in just a few days. But the great news is that Biden did it. He reached out to the Department of Agriculture, and they've now made it a lifetime increase of an average of 25% starting in October. You don't have to do anything. It's all automatic based. Wow. So jump in the live chat if you got to SNAP as well. And let's turn it to the next part of the money. It's the money coming back from your states for unemployment benefits and overpayment due to computer error, where they land you direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah, go to your state and say, "Hi, state, I want to track that check due to overpayment and a computer error. I didn't turn on the computer yet, sir. I was raising." Is that sirloin? And there you go. Reach out to them. And the last part of the money is the refund check coming back from the federal government. This is the 2020 tax return. You pay taxes on it. Margaret got it, Ka got it, Michael got it. How much is it? Let's go over all the details. The average check is about $1,200 to $1,400, and it's a waivable check. I know Mitch said, just make sure your ears hurt every time. The check is landing every week across the board. But here's a personal message from me to you. If you're in the live chat, and you have gotten money for rent, utilities, or SNAP, post your success stories right now. Because the love and the spirit of this channel is me helping you and you helping others. When you post your success story, you do wonderful things. Number one, people see that, wait a second, there's all these purple hawks in the live chat that are getting all these big sums of money. I should be getting these sums of money. These sums of monies were put in there for us under these stimulus packages. I should be getting these parts of money because this is part of what I should be getting. And now you see that people are pouncing and getting massive sums of money. Second, people never realized that there was money for utilities. Number three, a lot of people never heard of SNAP until they found this channel. And now you realize you're going to get a 25% average increase on it, so go get it. Number three, we have people who are like Art Sullivan and Nisi who got 3 items who inspire the rest of us to get 3 items. I want you to get at least one. I absolutely want you to get at least one. I know you can do it. You can get at least SNAP. And you can at least get utility. Every utility bill, you can get at least one utility bill paid. And finally, it updates us about how big the money is across the board. And now we're seeing bigger monies absolutely hitting. All right, let's go back to those unemployment benefits. Where, when, and how? They're landing by direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah, go to irs.gov and do a transcript search, and 70% of the time it'll work. It'll reveal the tax return you filed and the taxes you paid, and then 70% of the time it'll reveal stuff you really wish you never saw. Like Mitch, when he was on Star Search, did he really get the teal monster to be his clothing designer? And can we top that? Yes. As we go into the second part of your fourth stimulus check update of 2021, starting right now. Deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people under the fourth stimulus recon. Now, what's important to understand is that the fourth stimulus recon is $3.5 trillion. That's number one. Number two, everything in there is checks. If you've been with this channel since day one, you have learned that the first, second, and third stimulus packages were mostly application-based. So we have a confirmation, 100% confirmation that fourth stimulus recon has checks in there. In addition to that, we're also looking for those stimulus checks, and the excitement of that is unfolding. But first, let's go over what a recon is, because information is king across the board. How do we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot by taking roads and bridges out of the recon and putting it into something called the bipartisan. A conservative publication confirms my reporting. The higher the price tag was on the recon originally, the harder it was to pass. There you go. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon and put it into the bipartisan, it made the recon smaller. In other words, both the bipartisan and the recon are passable. So the recon has tons of checks in there for you. And that recon is the culmination of years of efforts by progressives. In fact, you're going to only hear this from this channel, that the progressives met with the president and on both the House and the Senate side before they started the voting process to get a price tag that they want. So just within days, I believe it's on Monday, the House will approve the recon next step, and it's going to pass in a blink of an eye, a snap of the eye, a snap of the finger, because they already agreed upon that price tag. Like Representative Richie Torres says we have to have a larger recon. You got it, Richie, $3.5 trillion. And Elon Omar wanted a lot of money in there. She wanted stimulus checks as well. She says we have to have a recon that goes as far as we want it. The Progressive Caucus was meeting with them daily. In fact, Jalapal, who also wrote the bill about the stimulus checks monthly, and Schatz had said that the White House told them to protect the recon because everything in that recon is progressive priorities. Now, early in this video, you saw about how certain senators have urged the president and certain House members have urged the president to put stimulus checks in there. And here they are. Jalapal wrote the actual bill. We actually have a bill from her, but others also urged it as well. In writing a letter to Schumer, Jolopal said call the vote on the recon, but that letter was signed by 12 House Democrats who were part of the 100-plus House Democrats who urged the president to put a monthly fourth stimulus check in the fourth stimulus package. Yes, that is incredible, great news. Can we top that? Yes. As Warren and Sanders and Wyden wrote the president saying we need to have a stimulus check in there. Can we top that? Yes. As AOC and Omar wrote the president a letter and saying we need $2,000 stimulus checks in there. Can we top that? Yes. As the House, as we have the House bill, which we went over, we also have the American petition, where 2.8 million Americans have wrote the president saying we need $2,000 stimulus checks in there. And can we top that? Yes. As 7 members of the House Ways and Means Committee have written the president a letter, and here is that letter, saying we need monthly stimulus checks in there, and when we write it, we're going to put that in there. That's a little bit different. I mean, they're the people writing the legislation, so they're saying when we write it, we're going to put it in there. Can we top that? Yes. As Biden did it, 8 weeks ago, we went overseas to have a global minimum corporate tax rate signed into ceremonial signature, but the real signature days later. And this is great news. Why? Because it's not in the recon. It was needed for the recon, but it doesn't go in the recon. Now making it easier to pass the fourth stimulus recon. And can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, we have a lot of breaking news as we go over everything you need to know about what the president, Congress is setting up for the next few days. The next few days are very, very big news. We're going to go over more about what is happening with fourth stimulus and that monthly stimulus check. We're going to go over more about what's happening in fifth stimulus. And we're going to go over all the details that you need to know and how you need to be ready to pounce as a Purple Hawk under fourth stimulus. Meantime, if you haven't gotten any of these sums of money yet, like rent, utilities, food, or internet, make a promise to yourself. I want you to get at least one. And once you get one, if you can't get the others, then reach out to the volunteers. Where are they? They're on the community page. Where's that community page? Open the description of this video. Go down the description of the video. You'll find a link to the community page. It's news.la.com/community. Why is it so important for you to get one item? Because as I said earlier in this video, if you've been with me since day one of April last year, I've been doing application-based stimulus since day one. Everything in these stimulus packages has generally been application-based, and fourth stimulus is guaranteed $3.5 trillion of application stimulus in there, while they're still fighting to get those stimulus checks in there as well. If you get one item application-based under third stimulus, like SNAP, then you are ready to pounce. As a Purple Hawk under fourth stimulus, you have the skill set, and I will be ready for you to pounce with me as fourth stimulus becomes law. But here's a little bit about the volunteers. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as the new Afternoons LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LALATE as a big heap is heating up as we go into The final 15 minutes of this video, so much breaking news. We're going to go over those monthly stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus recon proposed. We're going to go over the confirmed $3.5 trillion of checks in the fourth stimulus recon confirmed. We're going to go over fifth stimulus heating up in just a few days as we go into September. We're going to go over the vote, the dates, and all the deliciousness that's happening across the board. It's a great day with so much across the board, and thank you for joining me on the new Afternoons LALATE. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. When running for the highest office in the land, the President of the United States promised to raise your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI. He did not deliver, and so now the Democrats are proposing to take care of this for you in what is called fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus is just a few days away. And how does fifth stimulus work? Well, they'll first raise your benefits up a lifetime, and then they'll remove the asset limit, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the marriage penalty, and remove the income exclusion. This is fifth stimulus, which starts in September, going to a vote in about October, November. Let's go over all the details starting right now. First, they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. Who's you? You, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad Benefits, Veterans Benefits, or SSA. Number two, they'll apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark is inflation. Where's inflation going? It's going to be transitory. What does that mean? A temporary spike in December. Oh boy, that's good news, because that's when they apply your benchmark for the new benefits program. And how high is inflation going? Wall Street and myself are still saying maybe a 5% spike in December. Let's go over the analysis. First, they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they'll apply the new benchmark. And the inflation rate is 5%, then your benefits will step up another 5%. Not just next year, but lifetime. Then they're going to move the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't stay on benefits and also work. They're going to remove the income cap dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't stay on benefits and have more than $3,000 on hand. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. And love is going to win. And you'll be able to do a marriage dance, have a pair dance at your wedding, like Rob and Sandy, and no longer fear loss of benefits. And there you go. That's fifth stimulus. But meantime, if you have noticed, and there's people in the live chat that have purple hawks next to their name, what are they? Who are they? What are they doing? Are they over the sea? Are they over the land? They have understood that the big sums of money under all these stimulus packages is application-based. Yeah, there may be a stimulus check, and yeah, those stimulus checks may be absolutely wonderful, but the big sums of money are the application-based. In last year, when second stimulus was passed, $600, I said, don't focus on $600. It's going to come and you're going to spend it, and then you're going to need more money. So Tyrone and his family of four got $15,000 for rent, paid all their rent to the new year. It was incredible, great news, made himself independent. And then when third stimulus passed in January, we didn't track the check. We weren't a donut person. I mean, we may have looked beautiful holding a donut with purple sprinkles, but we were not donut persons. We pounced, and we got the big sums of money under that third stimulus, which is, at the time, I said $5, $10, $15, $20,000 money right now, not 5 weeks now. And there they started. Viewers started getting rent, utilities, food, and internet. And now you see what Purple Hawks have done. Purple Hawks on this channel are now getting enormous sums of money. And those sums of money are far more than that $1,400 stimulus check was ever before. So consider becoming a Purple Hawk. The link is under the video so that you are informed about all the big money. Daily, I deliver you from the YouTube community page a breakdown of all the money that is in third stimulus for you to apply for and get. Second stimulus, apply for and get. And fourth stimulus, pending for, and fifth stimulus as well. And with that, the Democrats also represent there's going to be a fifth stimulus. You saw that early in the video, in the fifth stimulus check as well. And with that, let's go into the final 15 minutes of this video, starting right now as we go into the excitement of what is unfolding with fourth stimulus. Well, fourth stimulus is heading to the finish line. And deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people in what is the biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. Fourth stimulus recon is composed of really basically two things to think about. One, the confirmed $3.5 trillion of checks for the American people. Are there checks for the American people on the fourth stimulus recon? Yes, confirmed. It's all checks for you. Are there stimulus checks in the first stimulus recon? Not confirmed yet. So we have to push Purple Power to ensure that they get those out there. Let's go over all the incredible details of this starting right now. Bernie Sanders fought a generation to get all these big sums of money in there. And while we don't have the recon bill yet, we have a proposal of some of the items that are providing those incredible checks for everyone, workers and seniors and everyone across the board. And I love the spirit of the Purple Hawks because they're always saying things like, I want to get that internet and I want to get that vision. Where do I apply for that? Actually, they say the internet and the dental. I guess those are the two popular ones. And my response is, you don't want to apply at the same place for your internet as the person who's doing your teeth. It's just, it doesn't sound good. But no, it'll be in different places. So here we go. Here are some of the items that are proposed in the fourth stimulus recon application-based checks. Free skill months for all checks, tax break checks, cheaper prescription medication checks, immigration, election checks, then free internet checks, farming checks, then lots of checks for workers, including independent contractors, collective bargaining checks, union checks, and lots of checks for seniors alike, dental checks, vision checks, hearing care checks, and more. If you've been with me since day one, you have understood how they usually write these stimulus packages. The first, second, and third were all application-based generally. Whether it was PEBT, you had to pick up the phone and call and say, I need that other 15% increase because my kid is staying home because of COVID. You had to pick up the phone. You couldn't. It was not coming to you automatically. If you were at home and you were a SNAP beneficiary, if you're an employee and you need to get onto PUA, you had to actually do the application. It was not automatic. And if you were an EID or PPP, you had to do the application. So that is why this fourth stimulus, it has so much money in there because it's mostly application based. All right, so what is step one of what's coming up? Let's go over all the details you need to know about how they do this, starting right now. So the recon and the bipartisan have different parts. And here's what you need to know, is that when we look at the recon procedural and the recon substantive, they are different sets. First step is recon procedural. That will pass as early as this coming Monday, I'm reporting. Why? Because the price tag has already been agreed upon. Recon procedural is step one. And recon procedural basically asks, hey, do you agree upon a price tag of $3.5 trillion? I do. And you agree that committee number one gets $10, committee number two gets $12? I agree. They already had this vote in the Senate last week. It goes to the House this coming next week. It's going to pass in 10 seconds, I'm reporting. So then they do recon substantive, and that asks the question, how should the committees spend the money? At that point, they have the bill where they ask, how should committee number one spend the money? How should committee number two spend the money? On whom, where, and how? Who ultimately writes a recon bill? A recon bill is written by subcommittees like the House Ways and Means, the ones that say they're going to give you a stimulus check. They write them and they are dedicated to different subject matters. For example, the Constitution, House Ways and Means is responsible for unemployment and also writing about stimulus checks. When those different subcommittees are done in the House, let's say it's 10 subcommittees and 10 pages, they combine them, send them up to Chuck, and he puts an S on them. But what I've been hearing, and there's a lot of reports, is a suggestion that maybe we'll start on the Senate side. I like that. I'll tell you why I like the Senate side. Is because the senators always pay more money. Excuse me, start on the House side. Oh boy. I meant House side, not on the Senate side. Because why do I like that? Because the House members always spend more money. First, I like that it's coming out of House subcommittees. They're writing it, so stay on the House side. Number two, House members pay more money. Number three, House members are more progressives. They spend more money. Number four, House members are the ones you saw in those opening remarks, one after another, saying monthly stimulus checks. On the Senate side, we had Warren Sanders, we had the New Jersey senator, and we had Warren Wyden. We didn't have 50 Democratic senators. We have an avalanche of Democratic House members who want to give you stimulus checks. So I like having to start on the House side. I also like that the starts on the House, then they do the vote-a-rama on the Senate side thereafter. Incredible, great news. So what do you need to know is that Nancy Pelosi and the president has promised to you that there is not going to be a one bill, one path process. We have three bills to do. We have recon procedural, we have recon substantive, and we have also the recon, and then we also have the bipartisan. The president has said he's not signing one body of law and without the other one. You have to put on his desk, but the recon and the bipartisan, that's great news. As we look across the board and Delta is really heating up. It's important to understand that the vote-a-rama is one of the key steps. The eligibility for the stimulus still remains at point. The House bill, a pandemic plus 1 year, is still a very clear issue. And the House members are much more progressive than Democratic members. What you also need to know is that when we look at the push across the board, there are so many more House members who want to give you those big stimulus checks. Meantime, how do we refocus ourselves going into these final days? I am really excited for you as you see this new afternoon's LATE unfolding. I'm really excited for you because of the following reasons. First stimulus, second stimulus, third stimulus, mostly all application-based. And that has always been where the big money is across the board. When EIDL was launched, when this channel launched, I came on the scene because people had applied for first stimulus and were not getting approved. They had applied for EIDL or EID loan. They were entitled to $150,000, $200,000, $300,000. They were not getting approved. So off camera, on camera, I was answering the questions to ensure that they got approved. And they did. We got $25 million of the money for them, saving their businesses, their homes, and their employees' homes. Then a few days later, people understood they had to apply for PUA. They had to ensure that they got FPUC. They had to apply for UI. It was application-based. PPP was application-based. PEBT, which started later more close to the end of the year in December, and they had it heating up in January. Application-based. $3.5 trillion of checks on the fourth stimulus package are generally, like how we've always done it, first, second, and third, application-based, meaning you want that free, you want that dental, you want that vision, you want that hearing, you want that workers' money, you have to apply. When we were doing HEROES Act in 2020 in the summer, we heard about all these massive spending plans that Nancy Pelosi had set for us. Remember the CDC grant of $50,000, the 3 different business grants of $5,000, $10,000. The individual grants that were $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. All of those were application-based. And the reason why they're application-based is because they want you to come and get the money. That's how the government has usually done things. Government has never usually ever done stuff as a donut operation, where you just sort of, sit back and hold up the donut and look beautiful on a YouTube channel. The application-based approach to stimulus has always been there. And that is why, if you've gotten one item from this channel, or if you haven't, and today is the day that you get the one item, then you're going to be ready to pounce when fourth stimulus heats up. Because that is where, while there's a push to still get those stimulus checks in there, that is where that $3.5 trillion of checks is confirmed. To recap, let's go over everything you need to know as we go into a big late afternoon. Number one, $3.5 trillion of checks are confirmed in the fourth stimulus recon. The recon will pass, number one. Number two, the recon will have a price tag of $3.5 trillion. Number three, everything in that recon is going to be checks of all kinds. So if anyone says to you, I heard there's no money for the American people under the recon, go looking somewhere else because they're selling you fake beans. The $3.5 trillion is all checks for the American people. It's called a spending plan. It's also called the progressive spending plan or similar. So you're going to have to be ready to pounce. There's a lot of pushes underway to ensure that stimulus checks are in there. And that is on top of the application base. As a viewer of this channel, I want you to get as much money as you can. So I'm going to make sure you get every penny you can. And that's why we have seats for stimulus. Seats for stimulus is very important because there's 6 House seats up for grabs in just November. You need to take these videos and share them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and say, hey, give me the right amount of stimulus. Give me the right type of stimulus, or I'm going to take your seat. That is what we've always done. We've always pushed across the board. And that is why I'm very excited for you going into all the details coming up after that. And so with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers is a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video, 3,000 likes. And also consider becoming a member so you get access to all this incredible information delivered daily from me to you on the community page. Join me next as Overnight's Crypto heats up. And then we go into the new Evenings LA. New details for that. Get ready as new programming comes to this channel. It's a new look and it's a new exciting environment. Stay informed, stay focused. Drop your comments as comments are back open on this channel. And stay with LA for more.